Hello, my name is Cath Edwards. This is my second story. It's about a man and a boat. The man would go fishing on the riverbank every day with his fishing rod. But the riverbank, well, the water was shallow and there weren't many fish, so sometimes he caught no fish at all. If he caught one, he would have fish to eat that day. Some days he'd even catch two, and if he caught two, he'd have fish to eat that day, and he'd have a fish that he could take to a neighbour, perhaps to swap for something else, or to someone else to sell it for a small coin. This particular day, the man went down to the riverbank, and there was a boat. And the boat seemed to have no owner, and he thought, from a boat, he could go out to the middle of the river and he could fish in the deeper water where there were more fish. So he climbed into the boat with his fishing rod and he looked around for some oars, but already the boat had turned its prow to the centre of the river and had started to drift out. Well, the man fished from the boat for some time and he caught 2 fish, and then the boat turned around and drifted back to the riverbank. The man jumped out and he was just putting the fish into his bag when he felt a little nudge on his back. It was just like a cat rubbing its face against him, and he turned and it was the fishing boat. It was the boat, and the boat looked hungry. So the man said, well, you helped me to catch these fish, so I will give you half my catch. And the boat opened its prow just like it was opening a mouth, and the man threw a fish in and the fish was gone. The next day the man went to the riverbank and there was the boat. And he climbed into the boat and they drifted out to the middle of the river where the water was deeper, and the man fished for some time until he had caught 4 fish. The boat drifted back to the riverbank. The man jumped out. He was putting the fish in the bag when he felt the push in his back. It was like a large dog was looking for attention, and he looked and it was the boat. And the boat looked hungry. And the man looked at the 4 fish and he said, well, I suppose fair's fair. And the boat opened and the man threw the fish in and the fish were gone. Well, because the man had 2 fish, he had 1 to eat that night and 1 to take to his neighbour, and he traded it with his neighbour for a fishing net, for the loan of the fishing net for a day. So the next morning, when the boat was there, instead of climbing aboard with his fishing rod, he threw the net into the boat and climbed in, and the boat drifted out to the middle of the river. Well, the man had a great day fishing. He cast the net again and again, so that when they returned to the riverbank and the man looked at the catch, he thought, it must be at least 40 fish. Well, he was just gathering up the edges of the net so he could take his 40 fish back to his house, when he felt a thump in his back, just like a large horse had butted him with its head, and there was the boat. Well, 40 fish. Half of 40 fish is 20 fish. 20 fish is a lot of fish to lose. It's a lot of fish to give away. So the man didn't look at the boat. He quickly gathered up the edges of the net, but before he could take a step, the boat had opened its prow wide and wider and wider, and there was a snap. And the man and the fish and the net were gone. And then a thoughtful look came over the boat. And a few moments later, it opened its prow a little and it spat, and the fishing net flew out empty and landed on the bank. and then the boat drifted away down the river to the next village.